First thing I want to clarify, chosen ones, empaths, is you're not the downgrade. Even if you met the narcissist and they had an ex or something like that, and you're thinking, oh, but if the narcissist always downgrades, then I must be a downgrade to the previous ex, the previous supply. This isn't the case. And I'll tell you why it's not the case, right? The world is rampant with toxic personalities, sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissists, amongst many other types of toxic individuals that may not fall necessarily into either one of those categories, but the world is filled with them. All of us have heard the toxic ex story from the narcissist. Whether you're male or female, they'll say then their ex was a head case, this, that, the other. And now I know that the narcissist lies through their teeth, but what about if that was actually true? What about if their ex was actually a head case? It's quite possible. But what I will say is it's not like narcissists run into empath after empath after empath after empath, because we've seen it. Some of us have seen them move to new relationships after us, jump to another one. This is all telltale signs that they're not satisfied. And this is the telltale signs that they downgrade, right? We see them rush into new relationships, but and we can tell they're not satisfied. If you look beneath the veil, you can tell they're not satisfied in these new relationships, okay? I don't want you to be thinking that you're the downgrade. That's why I started the video in this way, because you're not the downgrade. You're empathetic, you're rare, you're part of a chosen tribe and a part of a chosen collective of people that have rare, unique gifts bestowed upon them in abundance from God and from the universe to give you the right to hold yourself in a higher regard and to a higher value than most of mankind. I'm not saying you're better, but in the aspect of caring for people, the way that you feel towards people, the way that you have empathy towards people, this is something that a lot of people are devoid of, and they don't possess this trait. So therefore, you are cut from a different cloth. You are separate from the rest of the hierarchy. And this is why we don't follow the pecking order. And this is why, by having these traits, it gives you a rare insight into the world and the world around you. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But I just want to say that we see the narcissists rush off into relationships. They may run off and get married. They may run off and have children. They may run off and do these things. And a lot of the times they're trying to fill the void trying to fill up the void and busy their mind from the distraction of losing us. Like, it's really hard. That it's all to do with supply. I'm not saying that people run off and have children and that means that they're unhappy because they had children. I'm trying to say that they look for ways to solve their problems. Okay? They look for ways to solve their problem of the supply. And only you know, if you were a potent supply, if you've done everything for the narcissist, you've done everything you possibly could for the narcissist, you're a potent supply. It's only you, if you know, do you know what? After this video, I was a potent supply for the narcissist. If you know that, then therefore the narcissist didn't downgrade with you. They upgraded with you. You see what I'm saying? If you know you as a potent supply, if you're sitting there now feeling like, I didn't do enough for the narcissist, maybe you are feeling like that. And that's because they've tricked your mind. You know, I want you to know that they always devalued you. So if you're doubting yourself, it's down to their devaluation. And hopefully this video will give you some insight to make you realize that, nah, you did do it. Look, did you love them? If the answer is yes, follow it along. If you love them, did you care for them? Did you have best interests for them? Did you support them in their time of need? Did you help them when they were unwell? Did you do these things? And if you've done these things, you're a potent supply, because they'll run into people that don't care for them. They'll run into people that don't love them. They'll run on people that don't, try to help them and solve their problems and pick them up when they're down. they'll run into people that aren't like that. They'll run into people that will use and abuse them just the way they used and abused us. Okay, and this is why the narcissist downgrades. Now, they get deluded, right? I told you, I've mentioned this previous, but reinforcement's key. Reinforcement's key. When the narcissist was with us, we built them up to such a high plateau, such a high position, right? That we didn't physically build them up, but they got deluded and got blown out of all proportion. And you know, blew up out of all proportion. That's the best way to describe it. They blew up, they got inflated, right? They got inflated sense of self down to the fact of the supply we gave them. So when our supply starts to dwindle, rather than looking at us and thinking and empathizing with us and thinking, oh, maybe I'm exploiting them too much. Maybe I'm draining them of too much energy. Maybe I should give them a break. Maybe I should help them. They don't think that. They look elsewhere. They think, I can get this somewhere else. I can get better. I'm worth more than this person. And they start to resent us and they start to look at us like we're weighing them down. That's the mindset of the narcissist. Now, you have to let them go, as I've mentioned previously before as well. When they're in this mind state, do not try to solve the problem. We're problem solvers. But this time around, don't try to solve it. If you've made the mistake, cut your losses, but I will say it will benefit you to do what your true nature is to do. I'm just trying to say that if you don't try to solve the problem and try and hold them back, what I mean by solve it is trying to hold them in their place, trying to hold on to them, reaching out to them, trying to negotiate, trying to solve it, trying to repair the situation, because there's nothing to be repaired. You're basically faced with someone that's looking at you and not respecting you, not valuing you, and they're looking like they can get something better elsewhere. That's what I'm trying to say. Let them go if you can. If you're already in this position, you've already gone through it, you can still let them go. There's still ways you can detach yourself from them and let them go. Stop holding on to the thought of getting them back into your life. Stop holding on to things. You know, deep down, if inside yourself you feel like you want them back, listen, get rid of that. Let them go. It's only when you let them go, this is when karma's going to work. It's going to intertwine into their existence, and they're going to be faced with the realization that they're with a new supply that doesn't suffice them, that doesn't basically give them the same potent supply that we once did. You know, they'll feel malnourished. They'll feel like they need the old supply back. How many stories have you read or heard of where they tried to run back to their old supplies? It's so common. And this is because they downgrade. They also downgrade because deep down, beyond their subconscious and beyond the inflated sense of self that I talked about, deep down in the core of the narcissist, they know they're not worthy of us. We were also hard to, as much as we'd done everything for them, we were harder to manipulate and harder for them to get exactly what they wanted from us. So they often resort to a lower downgrade where they can manipulate and they can do these things. It's only once they get there, they realize, okay, it wasn't all this was cracked up to be, and they've actually downgraded. By them trying to manipulate us and try to get the best out of us, I mentioned in the previous video about how the narcissist also pushes us away. Rather than it being a devaluation, it could be a sense of, you know, rather than getting resentment for us and wanting us thinking they can do better, they may think that, but they also think, you know what, I can get better out of this person. They can think, right, by me pushing them away, I can get better out of this person. So I'm going to push them away. I'm going to go off to someone else that will suit my needs for now. And when this person gets to the right point in time, I'll enter back into their lives. But all of us need to door slam and not let them back into our lives, because as we know, the narcissist only puts you on the shelf. They're waiting to come and pick you back up at a later date. They'll try and jump in your bed. They'll try it. If they know they can't get into your bed, they'll stalk your social media. They'll reach out with texts or whatever like that. Or if you're not meant to be speaking to them, you know, it might be law enforcement or police or whatever like that. They'll reach out with fake profiles, fake numbers, fake allegations, any form of supply to get from you, because it's hard for them to actually consider that you're out in the world without them, and they want to kind of smear your name and mess with your head and and leave a negative impression on your mind, you know. But I'm just trying to say that the narcissist is out there. They've downgraded. They know you've got to really embrace what I'm saying. Only you can do it. You need to really, after this video, I want you to take 5 minutes. I want you to look inside yourself and say, did I do everything I possibly could for the narcissist? And if the answer is yes, then know your value and know that the narcissist, regardless of looks or whatever that you see this new supply's got that you haven't got, look beneath the veil, right? If the new supply's got loads of money and you didn't have money, you've got to understand money's not going to satisfy them. Looks fade. Also, if there's nothing beneath looks, we all know that, then beneath the thing, if the person's an idiot, then they're ugly on the inside, then they're ugly on the outside, right? You know, it's not about looks. It's not about nothing like that. It's about what the person has on the core inside of us. And as us as chosen ones, everything I'm talking about is stuff that's generated inside us. Everything is our essence. It's the core of ourself. It's our spirit. It's our soul. This is what we have. I'm not talking about nothing superficial. I'm not talking about nothing material. I'm not talking nothing on the surface. I'm talking everything that we have special is beneath in the core of us. Whereas in the core of the narcissist, they're nothing but empty and dead wood, right? In the core of the narcissist. But if the new supply is a certain way or not a certain way or this or that or this or that, it's all to do with the supply. The new supply is not offering them the same potent supply. That's basically what I want you to reciprocate. And then what I want you to put in to the other perspective is how much you actually done for the narcissist. I want you to think about that and realize that there's no more you can possibly do. They're unsatisfiable. Let them suffer through karma with their new supply. Never, ever, ever let these dusty weirdos back into your life. Ever. And even more so if they've been around playing with a new supply. It's absolutely disgusting. It's dangerous. You've got to think of sexual diseases, things like that. Really do not let them back into your life. You have to door slam. It's God in the universe giving you, through divine intervention, the opportunity to door slam them and shut them out for good. So just remember, they've downgraded. Never doubt yourself. Never think you as a downgrade. I've explained that at the beginning of the video about how you're empathetic, how you're different from majority of the population, how you have these special, unique gifts. This is why you was not the downgrade. You was always the upgrade. It was the narcissist's inflated sense of self that began to look down at you. Only now, when they're on the outside without you, they've now realized how much of a high value you actually are and how rare you actually are. So leave them in that mind state, door slam them, and this will help you achieve the path of recovery and where you're meant to go. So anyway, I'll leave the video there. Please press the like and the subscribe button. And if you want a one-to-one session, you can find the details in the description box. Anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.